Today, I'm going to show you how to use the HAX CLI to publish your first site with HAX. We're going to put this up on Vercel, but to get working, I'm going to go to hax.pcu.edu. You can click Learn More and dig into the docs. But if I scroll down a little bit, you'll see this command, npm init at HAX the web. I'm going to open a terminal here. All right. I'm going to go to where I tend to put my projects under my username that's in Git, and I'm going to paste that command, npm init at HAX the web. So we've got our fun little animation, and what do we want to build? The first thing we default to is a new site. So we build a new site. New project is going to be in this folder, and we're going to call this new site what do you know? All right, and we'll ask a series of questions on this via some pages. Sure. So author BTO Pro, and we are going to launch a new site. So Merlin, our command line wizard, is going to give us some output to say, hey, here's what I just did, and here's where you can go to actually find these files on your file system. However, it has launched a new localhost instance, and I've got a new site. So to add pages to HAX, I can just go under add pages there. To edit this current page, I hit edit. If I want to do bulk operations, like add a bunch of pages, all right, we could do that there. So this is the basis of HAX. In this case, I'll add 2 new pages. So I'm going to go and hit edit on a page. And if we select this top item, we can modify the title here. And so I'm going to ask some questions. And what are we asking questions about? Hockey, right? So if I want to add, text, I just type sport, and we can do markdown shortcuts. Right, and you can do normal text operations, highlight that, make it italicized text. I can make a heading, and then over on our side, we have some minor design treatments, like I want to put a horizontal line under that, and we want to go and make it a certain color. Sure, we'll say it's orange. Okay, so some minor treatments like that. If I type /, I get access to our command wizard. And so if I know the names of the blocks, as you've been learning the system, then I can just type them. Or under add block, you can see a big listing of them. But I'm going to type question because we want to ask questions. And we have a whole bunch of different things associated with asking a question. So we'll just do a true and false for funsies. And the NHL stands for National Hockey League. Yes, I typed Nittany, and that is not the correct answer in this case. So if we want to ask our users some questions, we could do so. If we want to provide some media for them to go to, right? Like I could upload media, I can go to the magic file wand, and we can throw in the HAX world changer. It'll ask me what I want to, or how I want to put this in the page. And in this case, I'll just say, throw the link in. All right, so you can do file uploads, you can create content. The big deal with HAX, it's not just about asking questions, but the big deal with HAX is it's writing web components. And then it's going to save this web component output into a very small file. Then if we can ship that definition of the web component of the page, expands, you have your tag. So we have highly semantic output. And I can hydrate that locally. I could do it from a content delivery network. We ship everything in an unbundled manner, meaning it traces through and you get just the definitions that you need for delivery of this site. So let's see what happens. Yes, save. All right, so I just put that picture on there and telling you about the NHL. I could go to this other page. We can add what do we have that's very like that, right? You can add cards, you can add collapsible containers, right? There's a lot we can do. We can reference that image from earlier, right? So this isn't a tutorial on HAX. This is just publishing. Just wanted to make some variety of pages. So let's get this up on Vercel. So I'm going to go back to my CLI, and I'm going to clear out of that, and we'll hit quit. All right, so it drops me back to where I ran the original command from. So I'm going to have to move into my project, which is called was cd what do you know? Okay, so this is the what do you know site. I could open this up, and we can see that a HAX file structure has its files under files. There's our world changer sticker, and under pages, unique IDs that give us the source of just that one page. There's our true false. All right, so we want to get it off of my computer, and we want to get it out on the internet. So for this one, we're going to use Vercel this time. So I'm loving Vercel for microservices. It's also great for static publishing. So I'm going to add a new project. And I have not put my source up on GitHub. I should probably do that first, now, shouldn't I? So let's make a new project on GitHub. We've got GitHub here. Create new repository and example site. All right. Simple. My example site. Create the repository. All right. And then if we look at our source, it is already in version control here. So I just have to add the remote, and I should be able to just do git push origin master. Let's see what happens. All right, so our files are up on GitHub. And then with Vercel, I should be able to select BTO Pro. See, there's example site. I'm going to import it. And now I do have to tweak some of these values initially. So if I go to build, we don't want there to be a build command. So to not have a build command, you just do the slider. The output directory, we're going to do period, which means the whole thing is the output directory in this case. And environmental variables, we're not messing with those. I think we're good. Let's deploy. Ta-da! Confetti. So we go to our site, which in this case says is example site 10.vercel.app, and there's our content. And no, that does not stand for Nittany Hockey League. It stands for NHL. And we can see the content on those other pages. If I reload this page, it will go to the welcome page versus going to the new item page in that case. So that's my first site up on Vercel. Now, if you've used Vercel locally, I can go into the project here. I was actually surprised I didn't see a certain setting. There it is, development. So this was that was a different one. Sorry, I went to the wrong one. Where's my example? Oh, there it is. Not sure why that went to the end. I just made it. So if I go to my example site in Vercel and I hit settings, we can see under development command, there's none. Now, I don't know why it didn't offer me a development command before. It's kind of weird. But so let's check that. And we're going to do npx space @haxtheweb/haxcms-node.js. So we'll save that. Say, it differs. So when you make changes over here, now I can actually pull these things down and work on Vercel locally if I want. And the way I do that is I say Vercel dev. And it says, hey, do you want to set this project up? Because they haven't before. It defaults to yes. And I have multiple scopes, but it's in my personal scope. Do you want to link to an existing project? Yes, I would. What is the name of your existing project? Example-site. And then if I do Vercel pull, That should pull my settings down locally. And now let's try Vercel dev again. It's claiming I need a build script, even though I told it it did not need a build script. So that's unfortunate. But let's look at project settings, and we're just not putting anything in there. Not putting anything in there on purpose. Let's say that there is no install command either. It's a little strange to me. I'm pretty sure it tells you if your front end does not require a build, leave this field empty. This seems like a bit of a UX error on their side. What if I do / there? Is that enough of a setting change? Let's refresh this and see. Okay, and then we'll put it back. I think it was a bit of a UX issue. All right, let's see. So let's go back here, do Vercel poll. And now Vercel down. There we go. Okay. It is a little weird to not have a build directory or to not have an install command. But because I'm running npx via that dev command, I'm actually able to fire up and work on this without all of the rest of the tooling involved. So I don't have the command line interface going. I'm just developing with this. So this is a cool way that you could just ship the ability to edit the site and the tools with it, right? I can go and I can delete that page, and I can go to this new item that we messed up and delete that page, and we can go into the theme and we can change the theme to a different one. Do all sorts of stuff right here, right? So I'm not using the other CLI. I'm going to cancel out of that. And it's already put all my changes in version control, if you believe it. So I'm just going to do git push origin master. All right, and now we go back to my site on Vercel and we look. It noticed that I pushed up those changes to Git, and it apparently has deployed them already. There we go, in my new theme. So it's a pretty cool pipeline. I've actually set up the same sort of relationship recently with my BTO Pro blog, where I actually made a post that was like, hey, it's go time, and it's all about everything you saw here. So if you want to learn more about the project, go to hax.psu.edu. We've got a lot in our documentation section, right? More about these other commands, the PHP-based version of the system, the desktop-based version. The project is pretty big. So if you want to jump in, learn about different aspects of how it's built and what we're working on and contribute, everything's out on GitHub. We've got a lot of tutorials in here about how to use different media types and things, how to use layouts, if you're using it for instructional purposes, since this is university primarily backing this project, right? We have a lot of different ways that you can present online course materials. But the big thing is that it's in a ubiquitous format. You can pull it down locally, shift it around. There's no databases. We don't have build routines required by design. We don't want novice users having to go through everything that I just showed there. Another neat aspect as far as that ubiquitous nature that I mentioned is I could go to a different deployment of HAX. And let's go to that little Vercel site. Sure. All right. And what we're going to do is I'm going to start a new site. Now, in this case, I'm out on the web. I'm in a PHP-based version of this. I'm going to import a site from an existing site. And now that site that was over on a statically published domain coming from my local machine is available as a, more or less call it a fork, but it's not, with a non-technical way of getting it there, right? I just copy and pasted the address, and now I've migrated this site and I can work on it as a non-technical user in this case. right? This being hooked up to a larger system in this case, we do have access to search YouTube directly in context. So if I want to search for using HAX to document HAX, which is a video I just made, there we go. And using HAX. Ubiquitous publishing. So look forward to having you participate in our queues and get creative out there.